Hey guys, how you doing? It's Kevtech here, bringing you another video on information technology. I hope you're having a good day. Happy Saturday. And today I want to continue on my labs. So if you guys have not watched my other videos, I've been making this whole Helpdesk lab environment where I actually have Server 2016. I did Active Directory domain services, and then I grabbed a computer or I installed Windows 10 on another VM, and I joined that to the domain, and I called it the Helpdesk computer. And then I logged in as help desk, and we install RSOP tools on it and server manager. So obviously, if you're new to my channel, do IT videos, do desktop support videos, talk about how to get into IT. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell. That way you know when I go live, because I do plan on going live today. And I'll see you guys in a bit. All right. So for this one, we're gonna do, shouldn't be that complicated. We're gonna create an account. Um, we're gonna install Windows 10 on another virtual box because I want to make sure that we have another virtual box. Why? Because I have a help desk one, and it's called desktop one. Now I want to have another one called desktop two, and I want to have that as the user account, or the user account that we're going to be working with, and then we're going to start putting stuff on it, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna share my screen with you real quick, and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. Okay, give me a second. You guys can see my screen. So this is desktop one. Obviously the name is not, the name doesn't, you can't see the name of it right here, but this is desktop one. So if you click on it, you just actually fully open it. There we go. And if you right click on this PC, it's called desktop one. So what we're gonna do is, because obviously this needs to be part of a server, the server needs to be on. So we already did our servers right over here. It's on right now at the moment. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually going to we're gonna actually make another VM. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna minimize this. We're gonna open up Oracle VirtualBox. We're gonna hit brand new one. Just gonna, for this one, I'll call it desktop 2, just so I don't forget what the name of it is. And then I'm gonna put Windows 10 on this one. And I'm gonna drop down, I'm gonna hit next. This one have 8 gigs of RAM. I could sacrifice it because I have a lot of, my hardware is pretty good, so I have no issues with this. And next. Hit create. And then we're gonna do is we're gonna just start it, right? And then obviously if you downloaded the ISO, if you watched my other videos, you know that I had the ISO for this. I'm gonna hit start, and that's it. And it should just start right away. Obviously I have my coffee. I cannot function without my coffee, so I have to have my coffee. All right, so I'm gonna hit next. I'm gonna hit install. It's pretty much the same thing like you did with desktop one, but this time now we're actually gonna set it up for another user. So obviously this is the pro version. We don't do home because home we can't add it to a domain. So you hit next. Accept terms of agreement. Next. Install Windows only. We're not upgrading anything because we haven't installed anything. So you hit this one, install only, and we hit next. And then that thing on the bottom, that's partitioning. So like if you're a server admin or a sysadmin or whatever, you would do that. You would do like RAID 5 or RAID 10 or what have you. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna go over that in this video, but usually they have like different hard drives, and they do RAID, they do partitioning, they do all that fancy stuff. For this video, I'm not going to go over that, but usually that's what you would do. So for this one, it's just to make a lab, so you could actually have some sort of lab that you could work with while you're working at home, and you have something you could talk about if you're going to a job interview, as opposed to not having anything, if that makes sense. That's the point of these lab videos. It's just that you could have something you could talk about, you have something you could defend about when you go on a job interview. So someone asks you like I went like over last week, like, what would you add on your computer? What would you install on your computer if you're brand new to help desk and IT support? And I gave you a laptop. What would be the first thing you install? And then you say RSAT tools. They'd be like, oh, okay, he knows what he's talking about. Because RSAT tools gives you the Active Directory domain services that you could run users and computers, and then you could do a bunch of things on that. So if you tell it to a manager, they'll be impressed. And then obviously you would say something like along those lines, like, yeah, I went to RSAT tools. The reason why I install that, because I'm not sure if if you guys install it already. I would install it on my computer. Then I'll start seeing what access I have versus seeing what access the other user has, stuff like that. So that makes sense. So while this installs, I want to show you a couple commands that you need to know if you're doing help desk. And I gone over this before. I'm gonna go over it again. So the first command for me that I care about would be, is just to open up CMD, and I'll show you. first command for me will be net user space helpdesk. So it has to be the domain name of the account. So this one's called helpdesk. Just remember that. So I'm gonna do helpdesk/domain, and then this will tell you the groups they're part of and everything. So we're gonna just, I don't want to share that command because the password doesn't expire and stuff like that. Now I'm gonna show you something totally different. So if you go into Active Directory, users and computers right over here. Remember I made a shortcut from my previous video, right? And if you go into Helpdesk and you double click on Helpdesk, obviously you cannot see it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new account. Then after that, I'm going to show you something else. So I'm going to create a new account for this computer right over here. So what we're going to do is we have Active Directory users and computers right over here. Obviously I have Server Manager as well. I have a bunch of things on this. I installed a bunch of things on this. So you should have Server Manager in here. And you should have other things as well in here. So you got system, print management, Active Directory. Let's see if let's see. I remember I enabled a recycle bin in my first video. Let's see if this is actually on. It is on. Okay. All right, good. Let me just double check. Deleted objects. Yep, it's on. All right. Should be there. There we go. Server Manager. He's a full admin, so he could do it. So I'm gonna leave this running for a second because I want to go back to this. I want to show you something real quick. So let me let that run. Yeah, just leave that there for a second. All right. So I'm gonna create a brand new account. We're gonna go into users. The users account is right here. Obviously, there are gonna be subfolders and everything. For this one, it's do OU. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click here. We're gonna do new organization unit. So what's the point of organization unit? Is to keep everything organized. So you might have like a folder or organization unit or an OU just for HR. You might have another one for IT. You might have one for compliance. You may have one for senior managers from a litigation. I don't know. Depends on the company. So for this one, I'm going to put HR and I'm going to hit OK. So now you have that in there. And then I'm going to go to users. I'm going to right click on users. I'm going to do user account and I'm going to call it Patty. For this one, I'm going to call it Patty. And then I'm going to do username Patty. And then I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to do welcome one, capital W. Welcome one, capital W. Then I'm going to do something different. Then I'm going to grab Patty and I'm going to drag it to the HR OU. I'm going to hit yes. So you immediately when you do that, you get this message like, are you sure you want to move this person to a different OU? It could affect it if there's group policies and in place and stuff like that. So just said yes, don't worry about it. So yeah, just for now. And now she's right over here, right? We're gonna do a bunch of different labs. So this is the reason why I'm creating all these OUs. So now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click on Kevtech again. Obviously it's whatever name you want to call it. And I'm gonna call this one IT. And I'm gonna hit OK. And then I'm gonna go into users. I'm gonna scroll all the way down. I'm gonna go to Helpdesk and I'm gonna move that one to IT. And I'm gonna hit yes. All right. So now you have two different ones, which is totally fine. Don't worry about it. For today, I want to show you a cool, neat trick, a cool thing, couple cool things. So we're gonna go into view. We're gonna go into advanced features. We're gonna open that up, and you're gonna see a bunch of different things now right over here, which is fine. Don't worry about that. And I tell you, like the command for seeing the user when it's the user account or group they're part of, when it's expiring, all that good stuff, it would be net user. So it would be net user domain. So for this one, it's gonna be net user Patty, because we just created the account. So /domain, and it says your password expires 11/14/2020. No, last set, sorry, 11/14, and that password expires 12/16. So like if you cannot do CMD, like how would you access this on Active Directory you can access it another way. So I'll show you how to do that. So what I do is I enable advanced features, right? Like you guys saw, I enabled it, right? You can actually see it from here. So how do you do that? You enable advanced features. Then you go into that OU Patty or whatever. You gotta look for her, obviously. So you could look for her by right clicking and find, but you have to actually physically go to that OU and click on it. Otherwise, you don't get to see the attributor editor. So what do I mean by that? I'll show you right now. So if you right click here on the actual domain controller and you do find and you type Patty. So I'm gonna type her name. I'm gonna type Patty. And then I'm gonna double click on her. You have this thing called attributor editor. You don't see it here. Why is it not here? It's because it's actually on the OU level, or it's actually on the folder level that the person is located. So you get to see that level or that thing that it's very important. I want to show you that because I'm always messing with this, by the way, in my job. So what we do is you click on object and it tells you where the person's at. So they're part of Kevtech / HR Patty. So if you ever need to look for somebody on a computer using Active Directory using computers, and you have RSET tools installed, you click on the object tab and it will tell you where they're located. But you have to enable advanced features first in order for this to work, if that makes sense. All right, just wanted to show you that. So go into view, advanced features, and enable that first. Once you do that, you can see where the person's located at. So why did I enable that? I'll show you right now. So you click HR, you double click on Patty, and now you should see the attributor editors right over here in the top right hand side. So what is that? You're about to see right now. So if you click on it, you have all these things right here. It says account expires never. So like if you want to know if an account is expiring, you can actually see it right here. If you want to know about propagation of the password, you could go right here. You want to see the username, you go right here. You scroll all the way down. Let me show you some other stuff. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. It tells you the name right over here. It tells you the object class right here. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. It tells you the password last set, when the password was last set. Remember I told you we did net space user domain, and it tells you when the password was last set using the CMD command. You can actually see it right over here. So you enable advanced features and you go into the OU level of the person and you click attribute editor. It shows you right over here. So that's the other way to do it. And then you scroll down, It tells you their email, the principal name. It tells you when change, when created, and stuff like that. So this is something that you may want to, it may be helpful for you if you're brand new to IT. Because actually, obviously, this video is for people that are brand new to IT. So then that's interesting. Another thing I want to go over today, just to show you, if you right click on the user, and I believe if you do, I'll show you. So there's all these things you could do on it, right? There's copy, reset, resultant set policy. This is what I care about. So if you click on this one right here, logging in, and you hit this computer, it won't work, obviously. But if you do another computer, you could see that, and you hit browse, and you put the name of the computer. So yeah, it's not gonna let me do that. But basically, I'll show you what it is. Basically, this will tell you the policy set for that computer or that thing, if that makes sense. So this one is Helpdesk, right? So you hit next, and you hit finish. Now when you do that, it tells you the group policy of that user account called Helpdesk, and it tells you what desktop they're part of. So that he's desktop 1, right? This user is part of desktop 1, and it will tell you what policies that they have set up on that computer, if that makes sense. So this is something that you may care about. So if you're using Active Directory using computers and you want to see the group policies, you could do it this way. This is one way of doing it. I'll show you another way to do it, but before I do that, I want to actually go over group policy and show you how to get into that. So let's close out of this. For this one, I'm gonna hit United States, US, skip. change the view settings to 125 so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. We're going to go back here. Sorry about that. I'm drinking my coffee. We're going to go into tools. We're going to go into group policy management. So just open that up real quick. Close out of this. And here it will tell you the group policy of your domain controller. And then the only thing you care about for this, literally the only thing you care about for this is the settings tab right over here. And then like if you're brand new to IT and you don't know anything about group policy, because you get calls all the time like, oh, when is my password? How long is my password good for? When does it expire? Do you know how many times I could log in before I get locked out? Do you know how many days my password is good for? Do you know what the complexity of the password is for me to change it? You know, complexity, like does that have to have exclamation point? Does it have to have uppercase? Does it have to have a lowercase? You know, all that good stuff. So then if I was brand new to IT, if I had access to this, I would literally go here. I will literally take a screenshot of this whole thing right over here and then save it somewhere on my personal drive, if that makes sense. So for this one, it says password age is 1, maximum password age is 42, maximum password length is 7, and it says strong password, and it says account lockout threshold invalid attempts 0. That's a problem for me. So I'm going to actually change that right now, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So give me a second. Let me set this up real quick. I'm going to do offline account just like the other one. Limited experience. I'm going to do user, no password. Let that log in real quick, accept. Whatever, that's fine. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. It's fine with me. All right, so what we're gonna do is, since we're already here, right? We're gonna right click on domain controller. We're gonna hit edit. And then you have your policies, you have your administration, security settings right here. So you see it says account policies right over here. We're gonna double click on that. And you see account lockout policy, double click on that. Account lockout threshold policy is set to nothing. So I'm gonna actually go here. I'm gonna hit define and I'm gonna hit apply. And it says account lockout threshold is 0 invalid attempts, suggested attempt is 5. I'm gonna hit okay. I'm gonna hit okay. So this one is 5 login attempts. So I'm gonna actually go here. I'm gonna change that to 4. I reset account lockout counter. So if you look at this, it says this security determines the number of minutes at the left time fail login attempt, fail login, blah, blah, blah. So if the account lockout threshold is defined, the reset time must be less than equal to the amount of threshold. Default none, because the account this policy setting only has meaning when the account lockout threshold is specific or specified. So now that's all set up. This is exactly what I want, because now I could actually change some settings here. So maximum password age, right? I'm gonna go ahead and change that, because some companies have it for 90 days, some have it for 40 days. I'm gonna put mine for 90 days. I'm gonna hit apply. I'm gonna hit okay. Password history, I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's see, password age. Password before they change it, that makes sense. Okay, and that's it. And then just everything else, leave it alone, because I don't want you messing with things over here, unless you know what you're doing. Obviously, if you're new to Helpdesk, like if you're new and you have a VM and you're playing around with this, it's okay. You could go ahead and do that. But if you're doing this in a real life environment, don't break anything, you know. So then what we do is, I'm gonna right click on this and hit enforce, close out of that. Then just for me, just to make sure that it's actually working, if that makes sense, I'm gonna go back in here. I'm gonna hit tools. I'm gonna hit group policy management, and I'm gonna go into settings right over here again. I'm gonna go into show all. I'm gonna scroll all the way down. Just to make sure everything's set up 90 days. Lockout threshold was set to 0. You have to enable it on group policy when you build your server. Obviously, I just did that, so now we're good. So now this user logs in and the login attempt is bad, then obviously it's not gonna work. So we're gonna leave this on the side right over here. We're gonna go into this one right now. This is the Windows 10 that we just created. We're gonna right click on it. We're gonna hit properties. We're gonna hit change. We're gonna hit change, and we're gonna hit desktop or type desktop 2, and I'm gonna leave it alone for now. I'm gonna restart it because I actually want to have a different name for it. I'm gonna hit close and hit restart now. So we don't get confused. Now we have desktop 2, if that makes sense. So. Yeah, so then what we do is we're gonna go into I want to get rid of that user account. Remember, so I did out the other one. We just want to have one uniform admin account for all the computers. Obviously, if you're in a company, every company has their own admin account. I want to have just one set admin account on each computer that I have, because I don't want to be going around logging in as admin 2 or admin 3 or admin 4. It should just be one account only, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do this PC. I'm going to right click on this PC. Manage. Sorry. Right click and hit manage. And we're going to go into users and groups. Users. We're going to enable this account. Password doesn't expire. We're going to hit apply. We're going to hit OK. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to do set password. And I'm going to hit proceed. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit OK. Now it's actually enabled. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to sign out. I'm going to go into the top. I'm going to do Control Delete. I'm going to sign in with this admin account. Remember, I have my IP addresses right over here. I saved my notes right over here. So I know what I'm going to put when I'm actually going to log into this one and actually add it to a domain. Today, all we care about is adding it to a domain. And then we're going to log in as Patty. And that's it. Those are only the two things I care about for today. So then I'm going to do is we're going to go to the bottom right over here. And we're going to go into, actually, before I even do that, let me delete that account first. So we're going to go here. We're going to right click here. We're going to go to properties. We're going to go into advanced system settings. We're going to go into users profile settings like I did with the other one. We're going to hit delete. We're going to hit yes. While that's happening, so you see how I move? Like I move very, very fast, but I should be slowing down a little bit. So it's not even letting me click the start menu because I'm going too fast. So I'm taking my time with that. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit OK. Actually froze on me after going too fast. Just give that a second. Yep. The C Explorer, the C yellow folder actually crashed from me going too fast. That's why that you have that black screen of death. It's okay. Go into control panel. View network status and tasks. Change adapter settings. Properties. For this one, we're going to do 10.1, 10.4, 10.1, 10.1, 10.1, 10.2, 10, 10.1, 10.1. So remember, we gotta set a static IP because we're gonna add this one to the domain. And Kevin, what are you doing, Kevin? I'm adding it to a domain, so I have to set the right IP address, just like I did with desktop 1. This is desktop 2. Now I got to set the right IP addresses. If that makes sense. So next thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna type CMD, and I'm gonna do ping Kevtech.com. Remember, it's not gonna work because the network adapter settings on the virtual machine. So you do all this, it's not gonna work. So what we do is we're gonna go into devices here. We're gonna go into network settings, We're going to do host only adapter, hit OK. And let's try that again. So, and it's going to work. I know it's going to work because I've done this lab before. So we're going to go into this PC. We're going to remove the disk because we don't need that anymore. So let's remove that CD or disk. It should disappear. There we go. We're going to go into properties. We're going to do advanced system settings, performance, adjust for best performance because I don't want this thing lagging on me the entire time. I'm going to go into change settings. We're going to change. We're going to go into here. I'm going to add it to the domain. And I'm going to do kevtech.com. Obviously, my IP address is defined, so it's going to work. Let's try my Helpdesk account since the other one, I want to use the other one to see if it works. It should let me do it. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it. There we go. And I'm going to restart now. I'm going to go to desktop 1. This is desktop 2. I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up Active Directory. All right. Let's give that a second. I'm going to go into computers, and it should be there. Desktop 2 is right there. There we go. Easy, 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 squeezy, lemon pleasy, if that makes sense. All right. So then I'm going to do is we're going to go into here. We're going to do Control-Delete. I'm going to hit other user is logged in as Patty. And we're going to do welcome 1, capital W, and log in as Patty. And there we go. And that's your second computer for your lab environment. So now you have 2, and you have group policy with lockout threshold enabled. And that's how you check if an account or a user account, when they last changed their password, when they last log in, using attributor editor and using CMD commands, using net user domain / domain. Domain username / domain. If that makes sense. So let's wait for that to log in, and we should be good after that. So let's give that a second. Give that a second. I know those are extremely long lab, but it's because I have to like literally explain what I'm doing for people that are brand new, because people are gonna get lost if I'm going too fast. So obviously let me know if I'm going too fast. I'm trying to take my time with this. So I'm gonna go here, and we're just gonna shut it down. Shut that down, right? And I'm gonna open up Active Directory users and computers. We're gonna go into that OU Patty. We're gonna double click on it. We're gonna hit attributor editor, and we're gonna scroll all the way down. It should tell me when's the last time they logged in. Yeah, it tells you right there. Look at that. Last logged in a few minutes ago. Look, like 2 minutes ago. It tells you. It literally tells you right there. But obviously, you have to have advanced features on in order to see that. So in my job, I have advanced features on, by the way. So in my job, I have it set up that way. All right. So when we're going to shut that down. And we're going to go into my other VM because that's it for me today. I'm going to go to the other one. Bring that up real quick. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We should be done with this. I'm going to shut this one down as well. And we are good to go. And that's it. That's what I did. So I added a brand new computer. I installed Windows 10 on it. I added it to a domain. I logged in as Patty and ran CMD commands. I did group policy. I enabled account lockout threshold. And I also showed you how you could actually open up the group policy retention policy tab by right-clicking on the user and going into it, if that makes sense. So that's it. That's pretty much it. And that's all I got for you guys for today, okay? Obviously, I'll be on later on live, and we'll talk. If you have any questions, let me know. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday, and I hope you guys stay safe, all right? Take care. Peace. Later. Bye.